Hey, 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 welcome to the June issue of She Is Magazine. And I am always honored to have guests that come and sit down and talk with me. And we have the wonderful Jackson family. Many of you probably have already found them on YouTube or Facebook. I found them on Facebook and absolutely fell in love with the family. Felt like I'm their auntie because I know I'm a little bit older. Or we could be cousins. I don't know. But I just wanted to bring you all in and share you with the audience and share you with our readership and just us have a really good chat today. So first of all, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm just going to pause here so that you can introduce yourselves because like I said, you'll do a way better job at it than I do. So y'all take it from here.
Gotcha. Well, we're glad to be here.
Yeah.
My name is Justin.
And I'm MaHogany.
And we're the Jacksons of Atlanta. We have two sets of twins. And Justin, Marcel, Mateo, and Milo.
Yeah, we're expecting our third set in September. So that has just been like mind-blowing to us.
Yeah.
In summary, the Jacksons of Atlanta, we are on YouTube and just other social media platforms, but predominantly we're on YouTube. Showcasing our family in a positive way. You know, we feel like there's a lot of families out there, but sometimes, especially in African American culture, if I can be transparent, there's not a lot of positive family dynamics. So we really just love showing our family.
Yes.
And we also like expressing that we're not just parents. You know, Justin and I do so much as far as business and I'm an author and we have different business ventures.
So the Jacksons of Atlanta is about just showing us not just the family, it's showing Black love, it's showing entrepreneurship, it's showing ministry, it's showing so much. It's a place that you just don't come just to see family, but you just come just get inspired, empowered, laugh, cry, and just have a good old time.
For sure.
That is so good. And y'all touched on a lot of things that I want to touch on. And the first thing is the Black love and the Black excellence, honey. Y'all photo shoots and just the videos, y'all just be out here killing. I'm like, goodness, I'm like, they got a whole empire here. And I absolutely love that for y'all. I love to see it. And just the way, for real, the way y'all weave in excellence in your family. And I tell people all the time when I see people operating in excellence, it just shows you what can be done, what is possible. So I from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. And you all are young. If you don't mind sharing your age, I don't.
So I am I'm still young, but I'm coming on up. I'm crossed over. I'm 25. I'm 26 and I'll be 27 this year.
And I'm 25. So we are
still
young, but it's creeping up there.
So it's definitely giving me auntie vibes for y'all. Okay. that is so. I mean, I have a son that's 25. That is so that's so incredible. That's really really good. And the fact that y'all are running businesses and running your family. But let's jump into the family side before we jump into the business side. Now, are y'all just out here asking God for twins? I mean, what's up?
Well, you know, not really. Of course, you know, I have a lot of twins on my family. So the twin gene does run on my side. Justin did not have any twins.
No.
So this was like all new to him. Now, let me be clear, because people always ask. We did not expect to have twins.
Did not expect twins. When we first got together, she never told me there was a possibility that we could have twins. And we come from a small town, so a lot of the people she knew, I knew, and I didn't know that, you know, certain people were in a family that were twins. So when I first seen the first ultrasound, the very first time we were having twins, I was just so shocked because never in a million years. I always wanted twin girls when I was young. I would say that's my goal one day, but never did I think when I got with her, you know, we would have twins. That just blew my mind.
Yeah.
So it was a little slight shock there. So we get over being shocked at the first set of twins. And you know, if twins run in your family, twins do run in my family as well. So we have twins in my family. You know, I didn't get blessed with that double, but you get to, you know, okay, well, we had twins and then here we are again. So just what was the second time like?
Second time was like, because I think I didn't go inside, but
because COVID was kind of going on.
COVID was going on during that time, and I got a call FaceTime, and it was twins again. I couldn't believe it. So I just knew, when that second set was coming, I said, we got to put this family on. We got to put this family on YouTube, on something. It's something special going on.
Yeah.
Yes, that is. I mean, I don't know anybody that's on their third set of twins. Y'all are first. So I was like, I gotta interview these people. So the names for your children, is there any significance behind Milo and Mateo? I love all of their names.
So for our first set, Justin and Marcel come from my first name and my middle name.
Gotcha.
And yeah, so I kind of had the privilege to name the first set, and then the second set,
I just love those two names. If I could be transparent, with the first set, I was like, this is great. We're having two boys. We can name them after their dad. They both get a piece because my husband's name is Justin Marcel Jackson. So we were like, give the first one born Justin, give the second one born Marcel. This is beautiful. Then when we found out it was boys again, a second set, I'm like,
we was out of names.
I'm like, I thought this was gonna be a one-time duo thing, and so I really just fell in love with the names Mateo and Milo, and they do have different meanings, like warriors and different things like that. And so I was like, let's do Mateo and Milo.
Yeah.
So how are Marcel and Justin adjusting to being big brothers?
They're adjusting every day. Justin, which is our oldest, Justin Jr., he doesn't really. He has his mind of his own. Justin Jr. don't care. Marcel is really more of the mature one.
Yeah.
So he kind of, makes sure, everybody's doing what they supposed to do, and he watches everybody.
He's a big brother.
Yeah. Marcel is more so like, when they get way older, he's one of the ones you can say, okay, you're in charge. Justin's like, listen, I'm doing my own thing. Brothers, I ain't thinking about them. Okay.
Right. So what are the ages of the boys?
So the first set is 3, and second set?
And the second set is 1. Of course, like, they got the months like 14, 15, but they're 1 essentially. They're not quite 1.5 yet.
And you know what I love about this is that they're going to grow up being buddies, like close. And that's wonderful. I mean, y'all already ready for your own basketball team or whatever. You got your 5. You got your 5 and you got the bench starters.
right. Seriously.
So is there plans for more babies after these babies?
No. If God's gonna have to really speak, and I mean He gonna have to speak. But no, really more. We want to focus more just on our entrepreneurship goals and ministry, and just kind of let go. We kind of done it to having babies.
Yeah. I think now we're ready to kind of just raise them all up. One thing that we're really big about is like when it comes to our kids, even with them being 3 years old, 1 year old, we notice what they gravitate to. Like our 1 year old, one of the 1 year olds, he likes music. He's always on the piano. So we're those type of parents where we want to be able to like push them towards what they are interested in. So I think wrapping up with a third set will give us the opportunity to allow this son to be able to do that, this one to be able to do that, and really just focus on them, what their passions are, what our passions are, what our goals and things are. So I think it's a fair enough for children. I mean, what you think?
Yeah, fair, very fair, very fair.
I love the balance that you all have and the passion that you have for your family. In our society, specifically African American, there are a lot of missing fathers. So, I commend you all on representing well the Black family. And with us, this will be in the Father's Day issue, just being a very present father. And it sounds like your intentions for your children are to help them realize their dreams just as you're realizing your dreams.
Yes. The Bible says train a child in the way they should go. And I think where some in our culture we failed a little bit, and we focus more, the discipline. But you also got to help your children realize, to discover their dreams and reality, and also teaching them financial literacy. All of those things are important. So we're going to train up in child where they should go. We can't just tell them to be good, but you got to also help them to discover their dreams, and not just discovering their dreams. When you go after your dream, you got to teach them that, with everything, having faith is possible.
Yeah. And just to add on to what you were saying,
Mhm.
I think sometimes everyone's trying to make sure that their kids are good kids. But when you help them discover their passions, you kind of leave less room, I believe, for them to get into things that they shouldn't, because they're already kind of honed in on what they love and they're focused. And surprisingly, a lot of people don't know, but my husband and I both come from broken homes. We didn't have both of our parents in the home. So a lot of what we're doing is seeing what we saw and making sure that we can create something healthy for our kids. So we're really intentional when it comes to like our parenting style and just the way we go about everything.
I love that. I love that you shared that when you say you came from broken homes, and I'm assuming that you meant from a single parent household.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Me and my husband actually have similar stories,
Yeah.
but
and we came from homes that that where our parents, speak to on mine, that were dealing with things, and as you look back when you get older to the age we are now, you realize the term to that was generational curses.
Yeah.
So I heard a person once say, if you experience generational curses, you can also experience generational blessings.
Yeah.
So you have to be big enough, even when you come from a family that may not understand how you raise your kids, is that you're cutting off and stopping generational curses and beginning generational blessings.
Yeah.
That's awesome, because some of the things that you experience, your children will never experience.
Yes.
And I love that we give our children a head start. I love that we give them a foundation that we didn't even have. But our experiences, and as they say, as the Bible says, all things work together for the good. Those that love God and are called according to his purpose. And I firmly believe that you're walking in your purpose. Even as parents, I think we overlook things like parenting being a calling, being a purpose, but it absolutely is. That is one of the most important jobs, if not the most important job. And I say this to women all the time when I'm speaking: if God could partner with us to create a world, we are the access point. Women are the access point. We are the entry for every doctor, every lawyer, every person that's on this earth. We are the access point. If God can partner with us, he can partner with us to do anything. And I believe that's what you're building with Justin. So, we talked about babies. Let's make a little transition. How in the world, because, I'm struggling, and my kids, I got 2 grown kids, and then I have a 5th grader that just graduated. And so I had kids all wrong. I had them every 10, 12 years. Y'all doing it right. Don't auntie messed up. You end up with 3 only children when you have them, that's far apart. But my question is, how do you still make time for each other? How do you still maintain a relationship? And I know y'all are big on PDA. I see, Justin be all, all over his baby mama, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So how do you still carve out time in the midst of having 4 kids and 2 more on the way and running the empire that you all run?
It definitely takes time, but I one thing I've learned, with anyone in life, you'll make time with what you want to make time for. So it's all about being, the Bible says, to much is given, much is required.
Yeah.
So I think you have to, map out the time, and you have to make sure there's time management. Not saying that we do significantly good at it. We do pretty good at it, but you just have to make sure that, yes, you're there for the children, but at the end of the day, you have to be there for the kids, but at the end of the day, you got to make sure mom and daddy are together too.
Yeah.
And I think, one thing with the houses and that we've come from, a family backgrounds, is that, there was so much of, we got to focus on the kids, or I've always heard, it's about the kids. It's about the kids. Yes, it's about the kids. But if mama and daddy are not well and their marriage is not healthy, there will be no mama and daddy.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure, as husband and wife, is taken care of first before you can be mom and dad.
Yeah, and just to add, I definitely agree. And we try to just be intentional throughout our day. Even though we work, even though we do different things, we're building an empire. We make it fun. You know what I'm saying? We enjoy each other. We do. We genuinely love being with each other. We're each other's best friends. So even when we may be on an interview or when we may be shooting content or recording commercials, we're still having fun because we really enjoy each other. And just as Justin said, we've been around so many people who they invested so much in their kids, as you should, but they did not invest in their marriage. And so when the kids grew up, they almost felt like they had nothing left. But I truly believe when you focus on your marriage as well, when your kids move on to build their own families and to live their own lives, you still are whole in your marriage because you guys genuinely kept it going.
And we come from, and I want to elaborate it because you have to, it's good to focus on the kids, but you got to make sure as a parent, what is your purpose as well? Because you'll find yourself as a parent, when those kids fly out of the nest, you're going to want someone to love you, but at the end of the day, your love, you should have built that because your kids gonna get older and go find their loved one. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes parents, and we've experienced this where we've left the nest, but it's not my job to be your significant other, give you that type of attention or love. That's your job to find that. So you just got to make sure you got that balance.
For sure. For sure.
That's so good. You all are wise beyond your years. I don't feel like I'm talking to younger people. I love that. And I know faith is a big part of your journey. And like I said, I read that you all were pastors at one time. Can you tell us about that experience? Because again, having faith as a foundation and building up and helping other people build their families as pastors, and how did you transition out of that? Was that always a call? And I know I'm asking a loaded question, but was that always a call? Are you from a line of pastors? How did the whole pastorship come about and to where you are today?
So I started preaching and singing, they say, since I could talk, but I was licensed as a minister at 12 years old, and then ordained at 18 years old. So I've been in the ministry for quite a while as part of my background. So while everybody else was probably playing with cars and football, I was outside of my grandparents' home preaching on a little porch to the grass. So imagine I had a church. So ministry has always been my first love. And we started a church in Lynchburg, Virginia, when we first kind of got together. And it was successful. We loved it. And ministry, don't get us wrong, I love to preach, but preaching is not the same as pastoring. So I'm still a pastor at heart. I love to preach, but it's something about pastoring and preaching together. I just come alive. It's my first love. I'm funny on camera. I can do jokes. I love being with my family, but preaching is one of my first passions. So we started a church there, and then we just felt that we were doing the right thing, but we were in the wrong place. So at that time, we transitioned from Lynchburg. And when we transitioned, our goal was to move and immediately start the church. But the pandemic hit COVID during the time. So we waited, and that's when the second set, we had found out we were having a second set. So they were coming. So we said, we better start YouTube. So we did YouTube. I didn't know what to expect from it. And I'm glad we kind of went that route. But now we're in the process where the church, we're getting ready to plant another church here in Atlanta. And because, and I'll say with what we do now, how does that look? We are different. We're not called to everybody. We're not called to everybody. We do the ministry that we are establishing, especially now, is, we want to be able to teach, and we want it to be a relevant, real, raw ministry and transparent. Especially in today's time.
That's so important. And I know you said so much. But as far as when it comes to the church that we will be starting here in Atlanta, it is so important that, we offer that real, relevant, raw ministry. Because if you do look at our portfolio, we do a lot. Our model, and that's one controversial thing when it comes to pastoring. It's like, how can you do that and still do that? But, I genuinely believe that God has called us not to just do one thing. I just don't have to pastor, and that's all. I can pastor, I can be an author, I can be a model. I can do different things because at the heart, God knows my heart. And so I'm so excited to just create that environment with Justin where people can feel loved, no matter what their occupation is, because there's a lot of people that may be models or, have different occupations, and they at heart love God.
Absolutely.
They're in movies and they may play a specific character, but they love God. And sometimes, I feel like in the Christian realm of things, people are like, oh, but sometimes it's the people in the church that, we live in church, but they really don't live that lifestyle. Sometimes you can expect the lifestyle more out of those people that you label as, oh, they're not churchy just because they have a certain occupation.
So and I'll say this. So when we came here and went into the YouTube kind of the entertainment business, we kind of discovered by us stepping out that we received backlash, or you supposed to be this, or you're this and you're that. And I didn't never get mad at those that once knew me. This was the new me.
Yes.
And I never got angry at people's opinions, because that's what they're entitled to, their opinion. But I don't have to sit there and basically listen to it. But what I will say is that it allowed us to show us how the church was. And we were like, if we were to do it all over again, we want to make sure we're reaching those that are truly, we say we want to reach those unreached, but that are truly unreached, but because some of the ones that are unreached really love God more than sometimes the people sitting in the pew.
They absolutely do. So we're kind of rounding the corner and finishing up, because I wanted this to be, digestible, because people, we have short attention spans.
Yeah.
One thing that you said, MaHogany, I was reading on your book jacket, and I want to read it. You gave this piece of advice, or you wish that somebody had given you this advice. You said, never give any circumstance the permission to steal your joy or your peace of mind. I wanted you to speak to that. We have about 6 minutes left in the interview. But there's so many people. I mean, you look on social media and everybody has a highlight reel. They show you all the high points in their life, but we don't see the real person, when the cameras aren't rolling and when we aren't with the filter, or when the picture is not perfect. So can you tell me what place you were speaking out of when you made this statement?
Yeah, so at the time I was in the process of really just transitioning my life. I was a party girl. I did drugs and different things like that. And I was coming up out of that into being a better woman, a better person. And I realized that, a lot of the circumstances that I had put myself in through bad decisions, people were really trying to hold me to them and make me feel like I couldn't be anything else. They were like, remember you did that, so you can't, act like you're, changed or anything like that. And, I was like, I'm never going to allow someone to steal my joy or to make me not have peace because of what I used to do, because I'm not that person anymore. And, even with that, I just want to encourage people that you can change today. You can change right now. And you don't allow anybody to hold you to who you used to be. That's not fair, because if you made up in your mind to genuinely change, then you do that and be proud about it, and don't worry about what your past looks like. And what you said about Instagram, it's so easy to get trapped in the highlights of what's going on. This person has that, this person has that. But really, learn to be content where you are, but strive for more. But be content, love yourself, and have peace and joy in the season that you're in now. That's so important.
I got two more things. This question, either of you can answer it. And this could be about parenthood. This could be about business. Just finish this statement. I wish someone had told me.
Oh, I wish someone had told me that about really the biggest one I've seen. I wish someone told me is really financial literacy. We don't teach our kids enough of that. And I think, like I say, that's where our culture failed us, really learning financial literacy and understanding financial, because at the end of the day, when you get out here, you better, unless you can have all the Jesus that you got, you better know something about their finances.
You better know about them 50s and that faith. I know, right?
Yes.
What's your favorite thing about your husband, MaHogany?
My favorite thing would just be like how much of a visionary he is. I say this all the time, when you pick a significant other, pick someone that can lead you, especially as a woman. I know it's so controversial, women don't want to be led necessarily.
Talk about it, girl.
that term can seem so, but really what it's saying is make sure that you're with someone that has a vision for where you're going. You know, when I talk to my husband, I know where we're going. I know what the goal is. I know how we're trying to progress. I'm not lost feeling like, do I need to do my own thing? How are we going to get here? It's really just, we have a vision and we come together with that vision. But I love just having someone by my side that has a goal, a plan, that's trustworthy and loyal to that, and just us in general.
That's awesome. So that's going to segue into the last part of our interview. I love the covenant of marriage. I really do. And I want you all to give marital tip, advice, anything that you offer in our last 2 minutes that we have together. Um, for those married people or those aspiring to be married, what would you like them to know?
I would say one of the biggest things that you had stressed on was you said women are the access point. Oh, that'll preach by itself. But women are the access point. I reflect over where God, when He created Adam and then He created Eve, He told Adam, He said, "I'm going to make you a helper suitable."
Mhm.
I think the biggest thing is, making sure when you're finding a significant other or being, get ready to get married to someone or marriage period, you want to make sure you let God do it because you want God to find you a helper that is suitable.
Mhm.
And what that means, God finding someone that is equally yoked, that is on the same page, that is going where you're going, that is that visionary, that that loves you for who you are, and that wants to really walk through you, not when times just are good, but also when times are bad. So making sure you link up with someone, and making sure you are with someone, because some people are in some situations where they ain't with the right person, but making sure you're right with the right person and getting with the right person that is been created for you and that is suitable to help you for where God is taking you.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree. It's so important. And then just from a marriage standpoint, I would say communication. Social media, text message has made us just fail to communicate sometimes.
Yes.
And I feel like even if you over communicate, that's better than not communicating. As women, we can't expect for you to read our husbands, to read our minds, and husbands, you can't expect for wives to read, your mind. So if you just say, regardless how the chips may fall, like, hey, this offended me, or hey, I love this, it will just open up a completely different dynamic in your relationship and marriage, because it lets you know communication is a gateway. So communicate.
Come on from behind that keyboard and talk. Do that old-fashioned talking.
I really would love to continue our conversation in another interview. I wanted to keep our time, but y'all have been amazing. If y'all agree to part 2, I'm agreeing to part 2 in advance.
Yes.
I look forward to featuring y'all in the magazine, and thank you so much for what you're building. And where them kids at? It's quiet in there.
Oh yeah, one thing about we keep the house very quiet. They, just train them up in the way they should go.
Yeah.
And you are for sure a preacher, Justin. I can't wait to hear you preach. I cannot wait to hear you preach. But thank you all so much for your time, for allowing me into your space. I honor you. I respect what y'all are doing, and y'all go and follow the Jacksons of Atlanta. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Of Atlanta on every social media platform. Specifically subscribe to their YouTube channel because they get in over there. I appreciate y'all. Love you so much.